so glad you could join me again today. Today, we'll be doing a nice little interesting painting anyone can do, hopefully. Um, I thought we could change it up today a bit. So, let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While they're doing that, let me explain what I got done up here. So, I have a 16 by 24 inch canvas, pre-stretched, double prime, and I added a thin layer, no, I added 2 layers of black gesso. I allowed the black gesso to dry, and on top of the black gesso, I did a mixture of Van Dyke brown, cadmium yellow, and phthalo blue, and I put it on the top portion of the canvas. At the bottom, I had my dirty brush, so it had a little bit of green, and I mixed it with phthalo blue, and that's what I put in the bottom for like a lake or something. And I thought today we could do a nice little foresty scene, something to change it up a bit. And I thought I'd show you guys with a black canvas rather than a white canvas. So let's get started. So hopefully by now they had run all the colors across the screen that you'll need. And yeah, let's get started. I'm going to start with my fan brush, number 6, and titanium white. Titanium white paint. Let's come up here. And I'm just doing these strokes. Think about it like if you're doing distant little trees, but a bit more spaced out and not everywhere. And just with titanium white paint. Nothing too crazy. Okay, you might need to reload your brush at times. Let's come up here and very lightly, very gentle, just like so. Okay, with that, we can grab a 2-inch brush. Yeah, we'll grab this 2-inch brush. Let me beat the bristles open, and we could blend it out. Just going up and down, up and down. Now pick up that green color that's underneath the painting. And the more pressure you put, the more that white will disappear and the green will show up. And the less pressure you put, the more the white will show up and the green will kind of disappear a bit. I think I like it like that. But I'm gonna do something interesting. Let's go ahead, let's grab our fan brush, and maybe right here is the center point. Okay, grab your palette knife, standard old number 10, lay it flat, cut across. It'll take off the excess paint you might have build up, and very lightly. And you could pull it to make it seem like extra light. Very lightly though. Okay, and I think with that we have ourselves a nice little sky. Maybe you want to blend out a bit more. Maybe you want it a bit more with the white. It's up to you. Completely up to you. And you could blend it out, the base. I'm saying you could do so many things with this. It's just a matter of what you're going to do. Now, let me wipe off my fan brush. I got multiple brushes, but I decided to use this brush. Let me go through Van Dyke brown and maybe a little bit of mountain mixture. I'm going to start looking for a new brand of paint. I don't want to have a company come towards me and say, hey, we want a certain portion because of you using our brand. So I'm thinking about changing my brushes, changing everything. We'll see though. I'm just pulling down, making the indications of a few trees that live in there. But before that, let's put some land. I'm gonna go with my 2.5 inch into some cadmium yellow. Just load it up. Let's come up here. I think our land hits it there. I think it stops at there. I'm imagining myself nice little river stream. I don't think there's gonna be reflections today though. But if you want reflections, you can add them in just by pulling down some of that color. And just tap and go away. Simple as that. There's no color underneath the grass. At least I don't think so. Because I might be too much to the side or stuff happens. But mostly this part doesn't have paint. It's just canvas covered in black gesso. Just load up your brush and tap on the paint. Something like so. Yeah, I think this painting is simple enough. I think people will be able to manage this painting as their first ever painting. If you haven't painted before, here it is. This is the painting for you. I'm gonna start doing paintings where it's a bit more of a challenge for some people. Just adding a couple extra cadmium yellow to really bring out some of it. Just by adding a bit cadmium yellow and just going over some of that grassy area. I thought today we could do a nice interesting foresty scene. Maybe a little here. Who knows? Maybe right there. Ooh, yeah. Nice. Okay, let's go back to our trees. And just like that, you already have your foreground and all that placed in within a couple of seconds. I think our tree sits here. Once it's there, you could put as many or as little trees as you want. It's completely up to you. Just let them come. They live in your brush. You just gotta put a little pressure. Just let them come out. You can give some a slant. I think we'll do that today. Maybe a tree's laying across. I think that'll be interesting. Maybe there's a small tree. Maybe it's growing up with its family there. Okay. And what I'm going to do, little dark sienna and a little touch of white. My brush is dirty, so I picked up a little bit of that Van Dyke brown. Shoot, what the heck? Maybe even a little bit of alizarin crimson, just to spice things up a bit. Let's come up here. That's too dark. A little bit more white, a little bit more dark sienna, and a touch of crimson. I don't want to put too much crimson though. I think that's a bit better. And same thing, just tap. Can you guys see it? Nope. I'm gonna add a bit more white. But when you're doing this, you can do it to the degree of darkness or lightness you want it. I'm just putting it somewhat bright, so I'm satisfied, and you guys could see the colors and how you can make it stand out and so on. But just like that, look at that. You already have your trees highlight. You have everything laying in there. You can paint. I promise that. Now, the thing with painting, people hear me say you can paint, and they think, oh, well, I don't need to practice. You still need to practice. If you want to improve, you need to practice. It's probably not going to turn out like this on your first try, but it's good paintings to take an attempt on. Maybe this one has a nice little slant to it. You can make it come forward just by bringing the stem down a bit more. And that brings the illusion that it's more to the front of the painting. Just like so. I'm working on bringing on a special guest. So hopefully we can work that out and you guys won't have to see me. I'm getting a little rusty. I need some time to come up with the ideas again. Okay, and the color change will help it because it's not the same color exactly. And I'm gonna go into a little touch of dark sienna. And again, my brush is polluted, so it's changing the color. And let's come up here. Oh, that's more of a grayish color. Okay. Just tap it. Just a little bit. Let's come up here. I hope you guys enjoy me painting indoors rather than outdoors. And a little bit more white. Just a little bit. Because this one's at the front, I think this one is just a bit more brighter. Maybe the stem sticks out there. Something like so. You could come over here and just cut off the little parts you don't like. Okay, we'll come back to the trees. You already got an idea. Now, let's go ahead. Let's go into some titanium white with a number 3 fan brush. And I told you we had some phthalo blue under here. So let's see how it reacts. Ooh, you see that blue coming out? You can do this. This is simple. It just takes a little time though. Don't feel pressured to follow at my pace or follow at any other art instructor's pace. They have years of experience and you're barely starting off. So if you feel like you're not doing a good job because you're not going quick enough, speed comes with practice and time. It used to take me a couple days to complete a painting. And after learning and learning, I learned how to do this in half an hour. This won't come in the first minute or so. Maybe pop in a few little foam there, maybe here and there. I don't want it to be too distracting though. But just like that, we already have ourselves a nice little stream that comes down. Now, let's go ahead. Let's put in a couple more trees. One more layer of trees on our left side. Maybe the tree lives right now. It does. Right there. It's really hard to remove black stains. So that's why when I use like mountain mixture and all that, that's why I say now it does live there, because it's like almost no going back after that. Okay, maybe, yeah. Boom. Something like so. Let me bring this one out a bit more. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna mix up with my palette knife some dark sienna and white. dark sienna, white, leave it marbled though. And with my brush, I'm gonna use the brush I use for the stream. Let's come up here and just tap on a little bit. If the color keeps changing, you can add a little touch of medium. A thinner paint will stick onto thicker paint. So if you keep that in mind, it'll help you out a bit. Something like so. After a while, it's gonna blend in a bit, of course, because it's lots of similar colors. You can't blame anything really for that. Some of that onto here. Something like so. And let me just fix up that. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I think someone would want to go camping over here for some reason. So let me cut out a shape of a cabin. And I scratch off any extra paint, so when I add more paint, it's able to stick on better. You can probably hear how harsh I'm scratching. It's almost like if you want to scratch a hole into your canvas. Just lightly, lightly, lightly. Shoot, just like that. Okay. And to help it stand out more to the dark sienna, I'm gonna add a little bit of crimson just to give it that reddish side. Or you know what? A little bit more dark sienna. Ooh, that's a nice color. Let's come up here. I want an old barn. So just let the paint glide off your knife. Just like so. You have the roof. Now, you need the rest of the cabin. So I'm putting Van Dyke brown mixed with dark sienna to that roof color. And let's come up here. You know what? I'm gonna put some mountain mixture just to give that base color out. Have that base color. But I think either way you can, like, you don't really need it. Okay? Cut a row. Just let the paint glide off your knife. Perfect. You know what? I think I want that part darker. I'm gonna add a little mountain mixture, a bit more Van Dyke brown, just to get that like a shadow sort of. Oh yeah, I like that better. Wipe off my knife, and it needs a door. Just pull across, and you can pull across the other way. That's it. You can shape your cabin by just scratching off and just putting in that grass color. Simple as that. Okay. Before I forget, I'm gonna put that old tree or something that's just across, just leaning, like barely hanging on. Maybe you might have said I lost it, and you might be right. I ruined my paint. No, you learn how to work with stuff. And we're already planning it out since almost the beginning. Something like so. Let's give it some highlights, but I'm gonna use the palette knife instead of the fan brush. Let's go ahead, let's use some of that dark color first, that dark highlight color that we use for the roof. Just with your palette knife. And kind of round off the edge so it could look like it's wrapping around. Don't just pull down straight. Pull and bring it back. And let's get some of that lighter one and just here and there a few sparkles. If you put too much, you ruin the illusion. So be careful not to overdo it. Okay, I think that's good. I think the cabin forgot to put in a fence, so they left it like that. Let's go ahead. Shoot, let's put in a bush. Get crazy in here. Using a fan brush. Doesn't matter what brush you use, really. Let me get a 1-inch brush. Let me load it. And I'm gonna add a little touch of medium, just a little. Pull it through one direction. Look at this. I pull it through. I'm not changing the angle. I'm just pulling it through. No, round off one of those edges. I think the second angle got it. Tap. It shouldn't be much pressure. But think about layers. Don't just put them in at random. Because if you put them in at random, then it sort of loses that look. And it's hard to explain. But it loses and it makes it look flat almost. Something like so. And if you want to, maybe there's a firecracker of a bush. So I'm just mixing up cadmium yellow and alizarin crimson. You could also use bright red. It's up to you. I just don't have bright red on my palette. And it makes an orange. Look at that. Ooh. You can make it more to the reddish side, more to the yellow side. Ooh. Gentle, gentle. You might overdo it. Try not to overdo it. And going back to my cadmium yellow and popping in those bushes. reaffirming. Now, with my palette knife, I can scratch in a few little sticks, twigs. Okay, we put trees on this side. We need some on this side. So before I let you guys go, let's put some trees in. Doom. Ooh, that was a bit too long. Yeah, we can work with it. Maybe that's our first layer. Maybe this one got a little slant. Maybe here. Maybe one more there. And just one more layer after that. You can also double load your brush and that'll do a quicker job. Look. So we got brown on my palette and we got black. So you pull your brush through the black and at the end you pull one side through the brown. Just one side. And when you come up here, you see some of that brown pop up. It's a nice, it's a nice quick technique. And maybe, shoot. Maybe that one covers the tree log or whatever. And just a little dark sienna white. And I think we could call this painting finished. Let me just block it in. Now it's this side the highlights because the light's coming from that way. Okay. Just like so. A bit more. Shoot. And this last one. And just like that, you have a finished painting. A great one to start off with, especially. I hope you enjoyed this painting. This painting was a nice, simple one that anyone can do. There's some parts like the log where you might struggle a bit, but it's really simple. I wish you the best of luck with this painting, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.